Hi everyone, today in this video I will be comparing class-based component and functional component in React. I will also demonstrate you how we can create class-based component and functional component and which one to use at what time, right? The first and foremost major difference you will notice between class component and functional component is that they are syntactically different from each other a lot, right? Okay, so we will start with class-based component first and then we will move to functional component and I will show you side by side the main difference between class-based component and functional component and then we will wrap up this video. Okay, so this is the sample app which I have created using React Apps CLI. So this is the base application. I will be adding one folder to it named component. Inside this component folder, I will add class component. So here you can see that, right? Class component comes with React.component. First you have to extend this React from React. And this render methods actually will be used to write the JSX, right? So this is a very basic example of class component. So first let's run this application. So our application is up and running. We will import this class component into our app.js and we will see whether it is appearing or not. Okay, so this is the text which we have written in our class component. As you can see that, right? Hello world from class component. Hello world from class component. Okay, we will create one more component which is the functional component. So functional component is a simple JavaScript function, right? But the case over here is it should start with the capital letter. If you write the name of the function with smaller case, it will not consider it as a component, React component. So it should always start with the caps letter, right? And in class component, you might have observed that we have a render method inside which we were writing the JSX. But here in functional component, we will have to return the JSX. Let's write functional component. So this is a very simple example of functional component, right? We will be importing this functional component just below the class component. So here you can see that, right? This function component also prints the value. Okay. So if you compare this class component with functional component, you might have noticed that functional components are simple to use because it's just a plain JavaScript function in which you have to return the JSX. And in class-based component, first you have to extend it that React.component, and then in render method you have to write your JSX. Between class component and functional component is that in class-based component, you will have access to lifecycle methods, whereas in functional component, you cannot access the lifecycle method directly. You have to use React hooks in order to access the lifecycle methods, such as use effect, right? It gives you the flexibility to use its lifecycle method, but you cannot use it directly. Whereas in class-based component, as I have showed you, right, there is a render method in which you have to write JSX, and in functional component, we just return the JSX. The class-based component considered as a stateful component because it is managing the state. You can define the state over there, right? Functional component, however, earlier was built just for presentational purpose. It was not built for managing state, but nowadays it also supports state management, right? Wherein you can define its state using use state hooks, right? Personally, I use functional component a lot, right, in my project, and I try to stick with one paradigm, which is a function based component. And Facebook also recommends to use functional component because it is easier to manage and test. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below what do you use in your project. Is it the functional component or the class-based component, right? Or the combination of the both. Thanks for watching.